So guys, I'm back with another video, just like in the other video where I did a breakdown for my no damage, no death, no shrines challenge for stage 1, which was of the squats, the warehouse, and of course Fajar, the first boss. Definitely gonna have to do the same thing per stage 2, which is the club, the 3 trials, and of course Sean, boss number 2, for the no damage, for my no damage, no death, no shrines challenge. Of course, I'm using the no commentary video that I uploaded yesterday to the channel, and we are gonna dive into it. As always, guys, this video will be as quick as possible per the time frame. Again, it's over 22 minutes. Each section is basically me pausing where there are checkpoints, just because, for one, editing purposes, and then of 2, because of course I'm doing a breakdown for stage 2 of Sifu and rolling through everything. Once again, definitely want to note that I haven't beaten the game yet. I'm still on the stage 3, which is the museum, and I'm actually stuck there. Now I'm talking about on a normal playthrough. I'm actually practicing this no damage, no death, no shrines challenge on stage 3. So everything after that, and pretty much after stage 3 and hopefully after the boss, everything after that will be pretty much sort of blind for me on how I'm going to look to tackle stage 4 and stage 5 to hopefully beat the game and then roll through everything, because I want to platinum the game. But enough of my chatter. Let's dive into this breakdown, guys. Let's get it started. Let's make it happen. Again, this is just me talking about, this is just stuff for me talking about how I did things. If you want to try this challenge, you can probably use this route, this run, for what I did specifically. But we'll see what happens. But let's get into this now. So definitely there were a lot of do-overs per this recording.
If you're
just
not
to
on
get
the
this
list,
done. So
you're
when you
not
come
there.
up here, obviously you're gonna punch him. If you're gonna use the multiplier, definitely get it done however you want to do it. I just kind of just like winged it a little bit here, just to be able to get the multiplier there. Again, I'm not using any shrines, but I'm just tallying the total up in total for each section, just to see how much the total amount is. Definitely, I always knock this guy down because he adds points to your score. These two are a nuisance just because they sometimes can hit you, but you can definitely you can get the sweep a few times, right? You get the sweep on both of them, and then you just work at trying to do the best to get them both down as quickly as possible, because they can be a nuisance. And I always bring the bat in here. I normally use this bat for the mini boss in the club here coming up. But specifically what we're going to see here me do, because I was a little bit frustrated, this is what I do. I don't go straight. A lot of people go straight. I go over here to this guy here, specifically talking to Kuroki. He's one of the guys that goes berserk. I knock him down first. But like I said, because I was a little bit frustrated, I actually used the bat some here. I try to save the bat for the mini boss, just because it makes things a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. But I knock a lot of these enemies down, which kind of was beneficial. What I do is I usually bring the bat over here towards where the boss is going to be at, and then I work my way through. Sometimes I use the bar over there. I didn't do it here. I tried to attempt to do that in some of my attempts. That just kind of just fell. But all I'm really doing is taking it one step at a time, trying to get as many of them down. But like I said, the bat helped out in this section, and it just worked out. But definitely per this section, you just want to do your best to try to make things happen. If you want to use the bat, definitely do that. But try to save it, because it can be a little bit easier to tackle the mini boss here. Of course, her legs are what is her main threat, because if she hits you, she hits you hard. Of course, the bat there, it broke. But again, like I said, what I did here, I used it a little bit just to get some HP down from her, and then I just worked at bringing her down. For her, if you want to do this, you can just come up and tap her a few times and just keep backpedaling back until you get her to force the break. Then the next section to come, I usually use a bottle. I try to use the bat too, per the 2 coming up, but I definitely use a bottle too. But I mainly use the bat per the 2 people coming through the door up here, because it's a bit quicker. But the bottle worked out here. Actually, you know what? That's what was weird. Okay, so during my editing, something happened where I did indeed record me fighting the 2 there before I came in here, but it got edited out. I don't know how. I don't remember how. I'm trying to think, but maybe because something happened with my editing and I tried to fix it, and I guess I accidentally. So yeah, the 2 people that are prior to these several in this section, I usually use the bat for them. It's much quicker, and then I use a bottle, but I was able to get them down. I don't know what happened with that, so I apologize for that. I didn't realize that occurred. But yeah, I usually come in here with a bottle anyway, and I attack this person. I try to use 2 or 3 bottles on this person, but this section here, it can be a pain, because a lot of times you have some of the enemies that use bottles too to throw at you. You're just trying your best to just kind of just literally do your best to try not to get hit, mainly when you're doing like a no damage run, of course a low death run. So I would definitely want to use your surroundings. I just kind of just like, look, I'm just vaulting over stuff. And like I said, I used the bottles here on that specific person like I was supposed to, but I couldn't do it. I think I got a little bit frustrated, so I just used the one and just did it. Then I come up here, I climb over here, I take this bottle, and I hit this person here. You can hit either one of them. As long as you hit either one, it's cool. And then you would just kind of just be dodging, because eventually that person usually tries to throw a bottle at you. You can attack them first. That'll work out too. This guy's a nuisance, but as long as you can break him down, you should be good. Definitely, if you want to use a bottle on him first, you can try. But I definitely use it for either people before the next section here coming up also is another pain. Did a lot of do-overs in this section, even prior to doing this challenge, but it only took me like I think 3 tries. But what I do is I come and hit him with the bottle, then I hit her, and it's between whether you want to do it. You can either tackle the guy with the gray shirt or the girl. Between the guy in the gray shirt and the guy in the red, they both are nuisances for me, because they have a lot of HP, and it just depends on what the RNG is going to have them do against you when you come over here. Sometimes they attack fast, sometimes they attack slow, so it just depends. But do what you can in that section. As long as if you can kind of just like bring a bottle in here and attack one of them, at least between the red and the gray shirt guy, you should be fine as far as doing that. That way you can do it like how I did and just sort of attack them, both of the girls and then the guys. So for this section here, what I do here is I grab a bottle. I literally grab a bottle and I break through that thing to cause the stick to drop. I try to throw the bottle at the big guy at the right. Sometimes it goes to the left at the big guy on the left. But either way, whomever gets hit with the bottle, as long as they are dazed, you make sure to pick up the stick so you attack the other person that's not. And you try your best to move them away from the other big guy. That's the best thing that I can say that would benefit this section, because they can be a pain trying to break them down when they're right next to each other. Once all of that's done, whether the spot gets that portion of the thing gets broken or not, you definitely want to break it and then grab the stick. Because using this stick coming up, moving forward just before the pit, the easiest way that I found to do this with these 2 girls because they use their kicks a lot.
That's closed for tonight.
I bring the stick with me. I grab a bottle from this table, and I automatically throw it at this girl here and drop her immediately. This is probably well-known information. And then I roll back over, and then I grab this stick that I put over here, and I'm just breaking her down bit by bit. I'm cheesing her though. I'm vaulting and just like trying my best to hit her a couple of times, boom, boom, and then I vault back over. Like I said, I'm just cheesing her. That's what you can do, cheese her. That part there, she'll literally try to come at you with a rolling kick or a flip kick. You don't want that to occur, because that, of course, that's an automatic hit. But you definitely don't want to do that on a no death run, because yeah, her kicks will hurt. But like I said, I'm just cheesing her just to get hit her and then basically pass her vault. But then once you do all of that, once you cheese her, she's good to go. And then definitely grab the bat. The pit is also a nuisance. I've had do-overs here specifically many times, but per what I did here, I just kind of did it how I used to do it. I could try to change it up a little bit, but per this section, I just hit screw. What I do is I drop the bat and I drop these guys down into the pit. Those are automatic drop downs. This dude comes up to you. He sometimes goes for a Superman punch, but then sometimes he doesn't, kind of just like shows fear. So what I do is how I used to do it. This is how I used to do it. I used to come into the pit with the bat, and I would go after the big guy and try to tackle him. But it just depends on the RNG. It just depends on the situation. So whatever is about to occur, what you see here, that's what happened, and I just roll with it. Now, what I decided to do though, I switched up a little bit. I went a little bit with the old school because I used the bat most of it here in the pit. Again, I try not to because I try to use it for the mini boss to come after the pit. So I drop down and I attack these guys. Like I mentioned in my breakdown of stage 1, if you can definitely use a weapon on 2 enemies next to each other and it hits them at the simultaneously, it's a benefit for you. So you just break them both down, boom, and then you would just do whatever. So I just threw the bat at the big guy to kind of just like stun him a little bit so that I can try my best to break this dude. This is what occurred. They got next to each other and I just like started wailing at both of them and then was able to separate them, and then that way I just worked on the big guy, because the big guy is the real pain in the butt of this section of the pit, just because of course we know that the big guys, they usually will try to vault at you and try to tackle you and grab you and slam you. It's a nuisance. But as you saw there, I was actually able to just work that out to where I was able to separate those two. It is beneficial to separate enemies once they get dazed and stuff like that, and then that way you can work on one-on-ones. But this mini boss, say this before, I'm coming here and fought him beginning when I first started this fight. In the beginning on my first playthrough, I beat him 5 times in a row. Then for some reason he became a nuisance to me, probably because I didn't really know his pattern. But this time I just broke him down. This is the reason why I bring the bat here in this section, just to kind of help out. But the bat broke, but because I know his pattern now even more, because I fought him so many times at do-overs. As long as you know his pattern, because he basically attacks you with like a 3 move, and then that final one is a delay attack. He has a delay attack. You could just dodge it and you should be cool. Whether you're doing a no damage or a no death run, you should be okay as long as you can dodge that third and final attack. That way you can just break him down. He does, we know that he does the jumping kick and the roundhouse kick and stuff like that, but those are random. But he mostly does indeed do the now normally, if you have the key, you would make that lefter to go into the gym and maybe possibly fight them or not. But again, this is most of the club. Like I said, I haven't completed the whole club just because I don't have the key for that specific room, because I know that there are 2 people in the room that door that's locked here in the club, so I still have to get that key. But these are the glow in the dark guys. I was actually looking for a bottle, couldn't find it. So these glow in the dark guys are a little bit of a pain for me. I had to do a few do-overs against them. You'll see me editing out some of that stuff. But he's simple. You just hit him with a bottle, trip him up, and you should be good. The other guy just dodges his attacks, and you should be okay. These guys go berserk, which sucks. But as long as you don't push him fully back to activate those 2 back there, you should be okay. They do kind of just wait for you to come. As long as you don't fully go in, you should be okay. You definitely want to not do that. So as you see, this was another one of the do-overs that I had. And you would just try to separate them. Like I was saying, like keeping enemies apart instead of near each other can benefit you when you don't have a weapon in your hand. So you can break down one, kind of daze one, and then separate the other to do it and make it happen. And then of course you got the final guy here. As long as you don't, same thing, as long as you don't push them back here. I was actually trying to do a kick while he was lying on the ground, but I'm unsuccessful with that. I've seen some other people go in a kick, really kick enemies while they're down. It just doesn't, I just can't do it. I'm not like a master at it like others are. So I've been actually kind of do the regular old trying to punch them back and all this stuff. But like I said, the do-over stuff, it just happened. And And like I said, there's something that you would go and talk to the DJ about, but I can't do it because I haven't gotten to that point, because I think you have to go through the game once before you can come back here again and get that information so that you can be able to get to a specific room or something like that moving forward. Now, the gym. So what I do is I go forward and I talk to the dude.
Above
this
this
is an
door,
automatic checkpoint once you immediately talk to him about the trials.
Agility, dexterity.
As you see there at the corner bottom right of the screen, set the check mark. And then I come over here. I normally would usually grab the pipe and just head to the trials, but like I said, I'm tackling the gym here, so this is gonna go however the RNG is gonna go. Some of the enemies attack you right away, others don't, but you definitely want to get rid of this girl here, because again, she's one of the girls that uses her legs a lot. So there's a reason why these 4 bottles are next to her. So you can use the pipe, but I use the pipe for the trials to come. So what I do is I grab the bottles and just toss them. Boom, 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 boom. If you're quick enough, you drop her and then you just flow with it. So whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen as far as the enemies attacking you. But I would just do this and just vault back and forth between those mats. Attack, try to drop as many as you can. Try to remember who goes berserk and who doesn't. And like as you see here, I backpedal. Just trying to chip at whomever I can, trying to separate, keep some of them away from me, and then go from there. It's just what best works for you. It worked out here, but this spot definitely took me, I want to say, almost an hour to get done though. That's the thing. I kept telling myself like this area shouldn't have taken that long. I should have more do-overs in the trials, because the trials are a pain. So because I was able to finally do the gym, my focus now was on the trials. So this area took me definitely I think almost an hour to get done before I was able to tackle the trials. But again, the trials I still had some do-overs as well. So there's that. So what I do is I grab the pipe, come into the trials, and literally the person, when you walk in, they're just standing there. You can automatically hit them with the pipe and they're automatically dazed. As long as you tackle them right away. What I do is, this is what you can do, hit them with the pipe. If you're facing them, you want to move to the side of them to push them towards a little bit of this area over here, so that way they can bump into something. Then you trip them and you move over to this person. I found that that's the best route to do that. And then you tackle them with more of the weapon and stuff like that. Again, the RNG is going to do whatever it's going to do. Some enemies are going to come out of nowhere, or they're just not going to show up yet. Eventually the enemies come, but it just depends on the situation. That's what I found out with the trials. Like sometimes the enemies show up out of nowhere, sometimes they don't. But here I was able to get 2 at a time. So like I said, as long as you're able to daze one and then focus on the other, that works out. And as long as you're able to just kind of just like do your best to dodge a lot of their attacks, you're good. But it works out here. Like I said, some enemies will pop up out of nowhere fairly early in your tackling of the trials, and it just sucks. It'll literally throw you off. But as long as you get stuff like this happening, where they're coming like kind of like one at a time at you, instead of like 4 or 5 people coming out of nowhere, you should be okay. You can definitely come up here and use the stairs, use the bricks and stuff. This is what I decided to do this time, just to kind of benefit me. It could have went a different way, where I could have gotten hit here, but it didn't work out. It didn't happen that way, and it worked out very, very well with me. As long as you don't touch the overseer of the trials while you're fighting, you're good, because the overseer is not going to mess with you until you decide to do something else. Technically, you could just skip her, but we're just gonna deal with her. I had a few do-overs against her, but this one worked out here. So I let her actually tell me what the situation is. I actually used 2 of the bricks here to kind of help out.
But I'm afraid.
But she's just like the mini boss before coming to the gym. She has the high kicks and stuff like that. You know, all of that, the roundhouse kicks and stuff, but she still has those. Well, actually it's 4 attacks. So once she does that final delayed attack, you're good. As long as you dodge that attack, you're straight. That's why I use the stick on her. I could technically just go barehanded, but I use the stick just to make it quicker. I grab this stick, here and I come into the next section with the mini boss to come and, you know, make it happen. Of course, this mini boss still is an issue for me, just because she just like, she throws, you know, she can throw me off sometimes. So there's that. So what I do is I come in here and I drop the weapon, I pick up the staff, I throw it at her, I clip her, and then I hit her, and then I go into blocking stance. She does the same exact stuff as all the others do, and that is those 4 hits plus the roundhouse kicks and stuff like that. Literally the same stuff. All you're doing is just watching out for the delayed attack, and you're good. You drop her, she's straight, you're done. You don't even really need the staff or the stick for real, but it just makes things quicker. But after that, once she falls, you're good. Now you can take the staff with you, but I actually go barehanded against the twins, except for just prior to walking through the area where the twins are. I used to grab the staff, but I don't anymore. I felt like it kind of gets in the way of what I want to try to do. It may be quicker, but what I actually do is just grab this brick here and I just go into the room. A lot of times, and some people have said this, you will want to tackle the girl first because she has a lot of HP, but if you go for the guy, go for the brother and hit him with the brick and get a couple of hits in, you actually take him down a bit quicker than the girl. So you drop him again. They're just like the girl from the lady with the staff back there. Same motions. They just have the same motions of punch, 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 and then the heavy forward attack. You just dodge it and you're good. Literally, they have the same motion. But again, like I said, the brick helps to be able to kind of help things flow. But you can also use the area, use the area to make them fall over and stuff like that, and you're good, and you can move on to Sean. Now, I definitely want to make a note here because I edited this in. This is what happened while I was having my do-overs with Sean. This is literally, I felt like this was a glitch. So this is what Sean does here. Look what he does. He just goes with a forward attack, and he just kept doing it, and I'm just like, what is going on? Because I know that he normally would go like for a shoulder attack, or he would use the staff and try to push it forward at me, but he just kept going for this heavy hard down attack with the staff, and I tried to force him, and he didn't immediately change back to it, but eventually he ended up going to his regular stuff, and then I was able to actually just get back to trying again. And after a few attempts, I was finally able to get it to where I needed to go, and this is what happened per the fight. I usually bring the stick in here just as an extra a little bit of extra of weight of an attack against Sean, because his attacks are literally he's like one of the easiest bosses to fight in the game that I've found so far. You know, so literally I feel like he's like the easiest boss to fight because his attacks and stuff are very repetitive. They're usually the same except for his second stage. But yeah, if you just know his pattern, you should be okay. The only difference that he does is that one forward attack with the staff that can sort of be a nuisance. That last lift up with the staff can be a bit of a nuisance if you're you know that you need to move out of the way. Like you have to time it here. Sometimes you can time it just a split second earlier than he hits you, and then your run is done. But again, Sean is just he literally is a repetitive and very easy opponent that you can break him down and get him down within a couple of minutes. But again, the second stage is gonna flow however it's gonna flow per the RNG. Sometimes literally he'll start the second stage with which I call which I feel is definitely a nuisance, and it's his low attack that he does on your legs. I have not mastered that yet, but I was actually able to work it to be able to just kept staying on him and just kept hitting him, knocking him down. As long as you know Sean's flow from the first stage, you're good to go. But you're just really worrying about that low, and then that attack that I showed you that he actually uses here in the second phase. That was the first time that I seen Sean use that that heavy high attack where he's bringing his staff fully down to the ground. That was the first time I seen him do that in the first stage. He usually does that in the second stage. But here specifically, like I said, as long as you're staying on him and you're really aggressive and you're not making sure that you're staying on him, for the most part, he doesn't do the lows a lot. He will do them very rarely though. But you know, and that's the thing. I don't think he changes his style up if you just go for the kill, which I actually did. Haven't spared him yet actually since we played through here. But yeah, he's real repetitive. Just stay on him. You're good to go. Knock him down, beat him down, and you're straight. And that's pretty much the fight, guys. That's pretty much everything that you have to do in the fight. You're good to go. Literally, the fight is I think 7 minutes long, a little bit over that, I think, if I looked at the time correctly. I think it is. I think it's only about 7+ minutes long, because the second phase is roughly 4+ minutes, around 5 minutes long. But that's pretty much stage 2, guys. The breakdown of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We got it done. But like I said, stage 3 is coming up. And I'm still stuck here. I haven't been able to beat the boss yet. I've been attempting to try to do a no damage, no death run against her with the no shrines attached to it, but it just hasn't been working out. But this is the final score. Your experience is 10,200. Let me back it up some because I need to actually see what the final level score is that you get just before entering against Sean here. Let's see. Let's see. What's your final total score here? What is it? Let's see. Because I wasn't paying attention. So it's 9,100. It's final score. If you do a no damage, no shrines, if you're totaling the max amount, even just before walking in with Sean, it's 8,700. But once you're done fighting him, your total tally is 10,200. So as long as you're making things happen, make things work out, you should be good. Per both stage 1 and stage 2, like I talked about in my breakdown at the end of breakdown of stage 1, you could, if you're able to do this challenge, try it out, definitely have fun with it. You can take all of this experience and walk into stage 3 and just apply it to your character once you get to the first shrine, or maybe even the second, or maybe even the third, and then that way you can just use whatever you need to use against the third boss and then moving forward. But again, I'm gonna be practicing and trying to get this no damage, no death, no shrines challenge together for stage 3 if I can. I have most of the museum down packed. There's just specific sections that are a bit harder than others because of specific enemies, because they're using machetes and stuff. So it's definitely gonna be an interesting challenge for me to attempt this, because again, like I said, I'm even on a normal playthrough, I haven't even gotten past the third boss on a normal playthrough, even with using the shrines and stuff and the boosts and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. It's probably going to take me a little bit longer to do, but with that, guys, that's my breakdown of stage 2. Leave some comments in the comment section below. What did you all think of this video, this challenge? If you haven't tried it out, definitely try it out. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on the challenge below, and I will hopefully talk to you all next time with more Sifu videos. Peace, guys.